All right, so I am recording this video less than 24 hours after I passed my licensed social worker exam. I could not have passed that exam without Ashley's day-to-day social work tutorial um, or tutoring session. It was super helpful. Um, it was the foundation to me of what I needed to develop in my study plan to pass the exam. I pushed my exam back many times, from August all the way to yesterday when I took the exam. I pushed it back for reasons because I'm in grad school, doing another grad program. I'm working on my public health. Um, but in addition to that, I was moving, um, and most importantly, though, I was making excuses of why I was not ready for the exam. And most of those excuses was because of my anxiety and fear. I was seeing people around me pass the exam, um, and people fail the exam. I was, reading people's comments on the LMSW, LCSW Facebook page, and that, really was kind of like really getting to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. But then I had to have that self talk. And Ashley mentioned things like that in her video, um, in her tutorial, and really just believing in myself and being around people that believed in me. That's most important also. I found that I had to cut some people and some activities out of my life for a little bit while I prepared for this exam. I didn't have a choice with setting my exam date back this last time. Well, I had a choice, but I chose to just stick with it because I came up on my 6 months probation at my job I'm at right now, which requires me to be licensed. Luckily, they were able to hire me, being contingent on a contingency that I was going to get a LSW licensed. So, and I work in the medical field as a medical social worker, with hospice, and palliative care. So that was like, you really have to be on your licensing thing. But my employer was super helpful. They said, hey, you know what? If you fail it, then you can still keep trying. We can write a letter and have you go back and take. But I didn't want to experience all of that. I wanted to pass it the first time and be done, which I did. Ashley's really super helpful with the day-to-day social work. She went into the how to break the questions down, which was, oh my gosh. Because me, I'm a skimmer. I got that from grad school. I read, I skim, skim, skim. Get the gist of the material, and I'm good. Well, not for this exam. You need to read every question. I mean, every word within the question stem and every answer. Because if you miss a word, it can trip up the whole thing and you end up failing the exam. I had a lot of macro questions on there. I actually went over macro. I had a lot of ethics. Oh my gosh, ethics, ethics, ethics. And she definitely went over that. I had a few DSM questions. It was easy stuff. I had one medication question. I know I got that wrong. I was just like, whatever, I got it wrong. I had, what else did I have? It was just those, pretty much those questions like that. I had policy, like I said, the macro part, a lot of policy, a lot of community. Um, Ashley brought up something. I remember her talking about it in one of her videos, saying that the KSAs, pay attention to the KSAs when you're studying. I will also say that is so true because you can study the material and the way we're geared. A lot of times we study material so that we are studying to remember. There's no way you can remember everything for this exam. I think that being able to talk about it though, just have a conversation about, for example, Erickson's stages of development and what is trust and mistrust, and what happens if a child doesn't complete that stage successfully. How are they going to be as an adult? Like having those conversations and being able to articulate that is really important because the exam is set up to is all scenario based. It's mostly what will you do first, what will you do next, what is the best approach, or what is the most useful or most important thing you need to consider and things like that. So those are things that you really, really, really want to hone in on and pay attention to. All right, I gotta go right now. Time is up, and if you have any questions, about um, my experience, further experience with day-to-day social work, please hit me up. L Peters is my name on Facebook on the LMSW LCSW page. Um, yeah, and good luck, and you got this. And this test, this test does not define you at all. It does not define you. You are way better than than the results of your exam. Right?